Hello, this is my persuasive speech for UMUC's 2010 spring semester. We have our audience here. This is
Debbie,
Mark,
Trisha, Therese.
Thank you guys for coming, and we'll get started here. Okay. Your best friend is in serious danger. Death by lethal injection. What's worse is he's committed no crime or even had a trial. Sadly, this isn't fiction. It happens to millions of cats and dogs every year in the United States in our animal shelters. In my household, we have 2 dogs and 3 cats, all of which were adopted from local rescue programs, including animal shelters. In doing this, we've saved 5 lives. Tonight, I'd like to talk to you about shelter euthanasia for dogs and cats. First, I'll go over the pet acquisition system and its problems. Second, we'll talk about improvements that we can make to this system. Next, I'll examine the effects of these improvements. And lastly, I'll tell you what you can do to help make a positive impact. Now that you know where we're headed, let's begin with the current rescue system. Shelters and rescues can quickly become overcrowded due to rising pet populations, poor owner choices, and competition from so-called puppy mills. As a result, most of the animals that arrive at these shelters get euthanized. Dogs and cats can reproduce at very large rates. Left unchecked, these populations can become a real problem. Owners have also been known to bring their pets to shelters simply because they've become inconvenient or unwanted. Puppy mill operations are known for their horrible conditions provided to the resident animals. The mills also serve as a distraction for adoption from well-operated and run rescues and shelters. Because a single female dog can have a litter of multiple puppies per year, she and her offspring can produce 67,000 dogs in a 6-year period. Likewise, a single female cat, being able to have 2 litters per year with multiple kittens, can give rise to 420,000 cats in that same 6-year period. With these kinds of reproduction rates, it's easy to see how pet overpopulation can quickly spiral out of control. Cats and dogs end up in shelters not only as captured strays. As a matter of fact, owners frequently bring their pets to shelters as NW, or not wanted. One estimate showed that pet owners surrendered half as many animals to shelters as animal control brought in off the streets. The goal of a puppy mill is to produce as many dogs in the shortest amount of time for the least cost. Mothers in puppy mills are bred as soon as they're able, oftentimes with little or no time to recover between litters. Most parents in puppy mills are destroyed when their reproductive systems are no longer efficient. Most of the dogs that are produced from these puppy mills are sold over the internet or in pet shops and often carry ticks, fleas, intestinal parasites, distemper, and a host of other highly treatable and preventable problems. Due to humane living requirements, resource limitations, and relatively low adoption rates, euthanasia of the majority of the animals in shelters becomes a necessary evil. These problems can be prevented by simple actions by responsible pet owners. Let's switch gears and I'll talk about some best practices. First and foremost, if you're ever in the market for a new dog or cat, please adopt from a local shelter or rescue and spay and neuter your pets. Finally, make sure your pet suits your personality and your lifestyle. Adopting a new pet directly saves a life. It not only removes the pet from the death row in the shelter or rescue, but it can also make a spot for another in-need animal at a no-kill shelter. Adoption from a rescue or shelter also helps combat the puppy mill practice. Pet sterilization helps neutralize the pet overpopulation issue. Getting a pet that is compatible for you and your family will ensure a lifetime of companionship. The fees from your new pet's adoption go toward the care of the remaining animals and the maintenance of that facility and helping all those animals in that location. The purpose of puppy mill dogs not only supports the puppy mill enterprise, but also subtracts from the adoption of in-need animals in shelters and rescues. It's estimated that only about 10% of all the animals that come to a shelter or rescue are spayed or neutered, showing a large potential for a dog and a cat population boom. Properly selecting the right pet when adopting helps keep animals from being returned and put back into the rescue system because of a poor decision through the owner. If everyone does a little, we can accomplish a lot. If this country can commit to these solutions, all dogs and cats can have quality homes, and every shelter can be a no-kill shelter. Euthanasia, due to lack of adoption, can become a thing of the past, and puppy mills can be eradicated once and for all. In summary, you heard about the overpopulation for dogs and cats, the animal shelter practice of euthanasia, and also puppy mills. I've talked about what steps we can take to improve the pet acquisition process and how these changes could impact our society. Do your part to help an animal in need and adopt from a local pet shelter or rescue. Help in the fight against puppy mills and save lives in the process. Every day, man's best friend is waiting for his death sentence reprieve from a person just like you. Unfortunately, it never comes for most, and they receive their lethal injection. Rescues and shelters have put forth the best effort they can for these animals in need. When it's time to get a new pet, support their efforts and save a life by choosing adoption. Thank you all for your kind attention. Any questions?
No.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming, and I guess we'll end it there.
Oh, how do you stop it?
That's okay.